What's up, everybody? We got a real heavy episode of American Sports Story Aaron Hernandez this week, and there will, of course, be spoilers, so you've been warned. Now, let's get into episode 4. We started this episode with probably the darkest moment in the show in Aaron's life, but we started with DJ and some of the neighborhood kids out playing football. However, Aaron's absent from the game, and DJ goes in to find him only to find Uncle Bobby giving Aaron his birthday money. It's a hell of a way to start this episode as it's present throughout the entirety, and it's just so damn heavy. Then we get back to the football as it's time for Aaron to get into the draft, and he's got to find an agent. He and his brother, they meet with a couple who give him that the flashy first round treatment before Brian Murphy comes along and gives it to him straight. Now, that might have been something Aaron needed. It probably is, as he was living a rather crazy lifestyle still and needed to be grounded. But then Murphy proceeds to do the same thing Urban Meyer did for him down in Gainesville. They dress him up instead of working on the actual character. Brian Murphy, he does that for Aaron out in California, and DJ joins as well with dwindling aspirations of some sort of professional career in football, even if it's just like the practice squad. Mr. Murphy plays it like that's a possibility, but it's only to hold on to DJ's cooperation in learning as much as possible about Aaron, the true prospect. This draft prep stuff, it was absolutely amazing, and Josh Rivera was incredible throughout this portion of the episode, more so than the rest, despite some of the goofy looking football stuff that got mixed in here without game footage to use. But like the only true benefit for Aaron out in California was meeting this trainer who he can't keep it down around, and it does almost feel like that might have been planned by Murphy, like he knew about that side of Aaron. But I don't know if that's just the show playing that, or if that was like a legit thing that happened. Either way, we skip to the NFL Combine, and I've been waiting for Mr. Kraft and Mr. Belichick to come into the picture. So seeing them at the weigh-in was great before we saw them in the war room later on. Aaron doesn't do himself many favors here as he continues to prove that he's only really worth his on-field metrics, but Murphy won't even let him run after he does so terrible on the testing. But as if that wasn't bad enough, he shits the bed during the interviews too. We get a real good montage of sorts with different teams and different outlandish questions, but he eventually gets going about his dad, and it's damn good, especially once he sees him and then just has a complete breakdown during this interview. I will say though, the editing decisions around the time jumps here in this episode are strange. Anyway, we go back to Connecticut to close out the episode as Aaron, he's watching the draft from home. Following his performance at the combine, he ends up being left on the board after day 1 and day 2 as it's really starting to get to his head. He sees Cheyenne in the store though after day 1, I believe. Yes, it was day 1, but he just sees her, and that's the important point, is it's just a moment of genuine happiness for him, and that's huge. Then, the night before the last day of the draft, before we go into the New England war room, Aaron and his brother DJ, they get into it because DJ thinks Aaron's throwing his life and his career away with his bad habits. Cut to the war room, Belichick is barely concerned about any of that, and it's so incredibly easy for him to convince Robert Kraft to go through with this. It's not even funny. But, well, it is kind of funny. Maybe not, but whatever. It's funny that it probably was this easy for Bill when he wanted his second tight end as the brothers celebrate Aaron becoming a Patriot. I thought that was an incredible episode. They saved this terrible Uncle Bobby story for the perfect timing as we see that football is a legit escape for a lot of people, but when it comes to a guy with as much trauma and emotional baggage as Aaron Hernandez, well, there's not really anywhere you can escape. And so that'll do it for my review of the 4th episode from American Sports Story, Aaron Hernandez. It was another incredibly powerful episode that continues to humanize this man. But let me know what you thought about episode 4 down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.